Welcome everybody to our OneClick.team webinar. I'm James Finlinson and we're about to start. It's at 2 o'clock here in Ammon, Idaho. I'm here with some of my managers at my store in Ammon, Idaho, number 02789. And we have an awesome software solution that we've developed here. It's called OneClick.team. And this is our proven team management software that's built for Chick-fil-A that removes chaos and increases sales. I'm super excited to show you what this software can do. But first, let me just start with a quick demo of what my team members have to say. We've already been using it for about 2 years, but I was really surprised by their acute recollection of the pain that they had before. Here's a quick demo of what my team has to say.
I started being a TL right before we got OneClick, and that was when we just had, it was just a spreadsheet of everybody's names. Pull out your phone, you had to write down every single person's name and what their shift was.
It took me hours and hours and hours to write everybody's shifts down, put them on the paper or put them on the Excel spreadsheet, whatever it was. It took forever.
We had OneClick and it completely changed the game.
OneClick, the name, accurately describes the software. It really is by one click that you can get what you need done.
You can go through the day and make a setup for any hour of the day, and you can see what positions are filled, what positions, it highlights what positions aren't filled but need to be.
They can review all the notes and feedback that trainers have given them, and they can look and say, okay, well, they're not quite ready for headset, but they're doing really well on Windows, so maybe we should train them today.
It helps you run breaks, meaning that if anybody works more than 5 hours, especially here in the state of Idaho, I know they think I can sit on break, who is not on break yet.
To know where everybody is and know that they've been outside all day and that they can now come inside and get warm or get cooled off depending on what month we're in.
They have access to it anywhere they're at, from home, from the store, wherever they're at, they have access to it. So it's not only for the leaders, it's also for the team members.
I use it every single day. I check it every single day, honestly, multiple times a day to make sure I'm in the right one.
At the end of the day, we want to serve the guests the best way that we can. And this is a stepping stone to get to that.
Perfect. So that's our ad, and that's what my team members have to say about it. They love it. This is really good software. Let me just share real quick about our executive team. I'm James Finlinson, and I've worked at Chick-fil-A for 3 years. I've been an employee and a team member. I've been a trainer. And it was one time that I was running into the back to tell my leaders that, hey, we need more lemonade because we're almost out of lemonade. And I found them copying and pasting some information into an old spreadsheet. And I was like, this is not acceptable. And that was the moment when I decided to start building and create this awesome software for us. I've been helped a lot by my father, Jan. He's given me advice and help and supported me through the way. And I'm recently joined by my co-founder, Mike Alvarez. He has a lot of experience in business, and he's with us to help us send this product and help bless all the Chick-fil-A's with this, which is our goal. We know that we can do this. As I said, Chick-fil-A is a special company. We really care about our guests, and because of that, we have a special emphasis on training in a way that other companies just don't. And so we care about the way our employees work, and we care about the experience that the customers have when they're enjoying our chicken sandwiches and our play places that are closed right now. They care that we wear masks, and they care that we're doing everything that we can for their best. And OneClick, as a philosophy, does the same for you. As the Chick-fil-A employers and trainers and leaders, and also for the team members, we care about the experience you have, and we want it to be really good. And that's the big thing that makes this software different from another one that you'll find, is that it's been developed by caring employees who have the experience and the pain and all of the all of the experience necessary to provide a good solution. This is my general manager. Her name is Jessica Lanehart, and we have been using OneClick for 2 years, and it's been incredible. We have experienced amazing growth. In 2018, we were both in the Super Champions Club, and we made Symbol. And then we did the same in 2019. And in 2020, we're projected to make $9 million in sales. And so far, we're running at about 19% profit, while our margins are decreasing and everything. So with that, let me show you what this software is. This is my favorite part. OneClick.team software is a web app. It's really easy to... It's a web app. It runs on a website. It runs on Google's infrastructure, and so it's super secure. But what it does is it gives you information. It's linked to hot schedules, so it pulls out all the information you can see. And at a glance, we can see who's supposed to be working today, and we can see what time they're working today, and we can see what time they're off. And the most valuable feature is that OneClick also integrates the training. It knows that the Queen is the best, and it knows that Cody knows Cash Cart, and it knows that Spencer knows Cash Cart, and Cranberry, she's a team leader. And OneClick knows that. That's the main value. The key feature is that it's able to pull in all this information and give you an easy interface to drag and drop the people around and move them from the runner to the dining room host. Or maybe if you need to make a change and send them out to IPOS and outside, you can do that. It's really super easy for the team leaders and the shift leaders and everybody to pull up the app and plan and say, wow, Reagan's been doing really good right now, and we need her in this specific position, or we need her in another position. Another key feature of OneClick is that it has built-in break management. We can see right now that Reagan is on break and she has 4 minutes left until she's back. And that's information you know. We can also see very easily that Sarah, she works later today and she'll need a break. Andrea as well. And it keeps all this, it provides all this in a really easy, simple interface. You'll see as well that OneClick also supports keeping track of your employees at all the times in the day. So not only at 11 o'clock or at 5 o'clock when you have your major shift changes, but you can also do this at 2 o'clock and 3, and when everybody comes in at 3:30 as well, you can easily see who's here and who's not and make these decisions. This is actually data from my store. And we can see that my team leaders have done this. They've gone through, and at 11, they know who's here. And at 2 o'clock, they have put everybody in slightly different positions because people have left and some people have gone home and other people are here, and they're keeping track of that. And then at 3, and then at 4. Some of the other key features of OneClick are that it's online. And so it runs on an iPad. I know that our store has iPads mounted on walls, and other ones have, and other Chick-fil-A's have those as well. But outside of that, the managers also pull it up on their phones, and the team members can pull it up on their phones at home or in the back office or anywhere. And the app just works. The reliability would be a massive feature of it. Being an app and hosted online on reliable technology, it's never down. It's always here and it's always available, and it's simply provided for people to use, and it's loyal and helpful and friendly, just like Chick-fil-A, like we are as Chick-fil-A for our guests. These are all features related to the organizing, and this is massive, especially if you're coming from a store where you may or may not still be using paper to plan out who's supposed to be here, or looking at the hot schedules app and like who's supposed to be here and who's not. This is a major upgrade, and having the technology here really changes the culture and helps you be more organized. It encourages the team to communicate clearly about shift changes and to actually make those in hot schedules because it shows up in OneClick. It gives them a good reason to do it because it's so easy. They'll want to to do it correctly and share so that it's communicated easily. There is another big feature set in OneClick, and that's the training management. We've already talked about how it knows that Sydney is good on headset or that Paige is just barely learning. And the way it does that is with these training interfaces built for trainers. It lists out everybody, and it has an easy to use dashboard that provides everybody with little numbers that represent how good they are in different positions, in dining room and as a runner on front counter on IPOS. And it provides a really simple interface for the trainers to log in from home or from wherever and put in that information as well. And so what we end up is with a rich data set of who is good at what and how, and who's not good where. And then as you have a training manager that's actively managing these, or a set of trainers that are watching this and that care, Sarah, how are you doing? Are you getting better? You can review the notes and say, you know what, last month you were just barely learning front counter. It looks like you've made a lot of progress. And so we're going to start teaching you this next position. And that'll be good for us as the store, because that means we have more people that are capable and well-trained in a particular position. And it's also good for Sarah, because that means that she's having a fun time on the job and she's learning new things and growing and progressing. I'll show you the training interface works really well. You simply log in and pick any employee and then choose which position you want to rate them in. And it gives you a simple 1 to 5 star system, so the trainers can click some of these stars and pick the ratings, and then it goes in the system. It's really not an issue at all to do the ratings, and it becomes an important workflow. And it becomes a valuable workflow as people use it. Those are some of the key features, and it does a lot more. It also keeps track of people's birthdays, so we can say, hey, happy birthday, Sydney. It looks like your birthday will be on Saturday. And it shows that for you as well. This is our demo of OneClick. We have our general manager, Jessica, here, and she's with Kent, and we'd like to ask them, they're just waving, we'd like to ask them to share their thoughts. They've been using it for 2 years now. Jessica?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Jess.
Okay, so we have been using OneClick for about 2 years now. We created this together with James had this wild idea, and we created it together, and it's been really, really beneficial for our team. Before we did this, we were doing pen and paper at first, and then we started doing an Excel spreadsheet, which still took a lot of time to copy everybody over, hours and hours of time. And then when there were shift changes or whatever, it was just always very inconsistent on knowing who was there and who wasn't there, what time are they off. I do the scheduling for the store. So with OneClick, we, as you guys know, we always have scheduling changes, people swapping shifts, people being gone, whatnot. OneClick automatically updates that twice a day. And so if I go in and approve a shift, OneClick's going to update it, and it's going to be set for our leaders to use. Another super benefit is just knowing who's closing and who's coming on and who's going off, and it's just very customizable to each individual store. James has done a lot of work to tailor it to Chick-fil-A and make it really efficient in the ability to run smoothly. The training feature is a huge feature that we use, and maybe some aren't quite at that level as far as the way that you guys run training at your store, but it's definitely been a benefit for ours, knowing where people are at. I don't think that you mentioned that there is a spot on there where you can add notes. If you have a conversation or if you give feedback, you talk about different things that happen on the ships, you can add the notes on each person. Oh, that's me. Wow. Is that good, James?
Yeah, thanks so much, Jess.
Uh-huh.
Ken, would you like to say something as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the key features, and I don't know if you addressed it because we were having trouble getting to the meeting. I really like the setup for the closing shift, like at 10 o'clock, so that it's a different setup. It's catered to how you would close front counter, close dining room, and who's doing that. Also, the break feature is a new addition that is available to kind of keep your team accountable. I think all in all, like, it just has a lot more accountability and progress of making sure that no team member gets left behind, especially in the sense of training and in the sense of, oh, maybe they've been put in positions and you can go back a couple of days prior to see previous shifts to see if a team member has been put in certain areas. In that note section, we utilize that a lot for letting shift leaders know, oh, you're going to be doing this with your training for the shift if possible. And I think it's just collectively, like, I've used Google Sheets before, and it was effective, but not nearly as catered directly to the business of Chick-fil-A and our specific store. And so that's what OneClick was really beneficial for. And it's just been really, really nice just to see that kind of grow. And we had an added feature specifically for our store and our award compensation money of moolah, where team members can benefit if they do something well in second mile service or anything. They can be receiving their money and be checking all that through the app or the website, I guess.
Thank you so much, Ken. Really, the main feature is that this is good software and it's built exactly for Chick-fil-A. I built it and I work in the store every day. And so I know the pain and I know the thoughts and I know what goes through the shift leader's head when they're making these decisions. And this software has been built with those decisions as the underlying assumption, and it's really good at it. I would just, the other day at the barber shop, I asked them, it was a great clip, and I asked them, so what do you think about your computer system? And the person that checked me out was like, oh, it's always crashing and it's so slow, and they put out these updates and say it's supposed to fix it, but then it just gets worse. And the one thing that I can say is that this software is good. It's been built on industry-leading technology, and it's fast, and it's simple, and it's really easy. And your team members will love it, and my team members love it, and your team members will love it, and it will help them do a better job because of the way it interacts with the training and all the things, and it helps you make good decisions to make your employees happier and make your customers happier and help them come back more often. That is all we have for our demo today. I can see in the chat section that a lot of people have some questions. Let me just continue to post your questions in the chat, and I will go and answer some of these with our OneClick demo. So let me pull up. So one question has been, what do the different colors on OneClick mean? There are several colors. And there are several colors. What they mean, this red color here means that the person works a long shift and that they need a break today. At Chick-fil-A of Ammon, that is 5 hours. If they work 5 hours, they need a break. But if they don't work 5 hours, then they don't need a break. And so the app is doing that calculation for the managers, and it's showing them that. Then when the managers send them on break, they click on it and it starts a timer for 20 or 30 minutes, however long it is. It's customizable. At our store, it's 20 minutes. We have another store using it in Nampa in Idaho, and they have 20-minute breaks, but if you work a long shift, that's at least 8 hours and you get a 30-minute break. And so it starts the timer for that long, and it's just counting down that timer. And then you can click it one more time and it turns blue to say that they've already had their break, they're good, and you don't need to worry about them anymore. There's that question.
Hey, James, I just saw a question pop up about CAM that could be customized to the breaks according to their state law. That can happen, right?
That can happen, yes. The rules and everything are configurable. They're different from every store, and they should be. I saw a question earlier about, can this layout be customized to your store? The answer is yes. You'll notice that we have it like this because we have 2 lanes of drive-through and we want to call it chicken and waffles. In the morning, we have a different one because there are fewer people, so we have a lemons position and a drive-through bagger and a drinks, and it's just simpler because there aren't as many people. And then also at 10 o'clock at the end of the night, we have another one for the dining room and front counter and shakes and cage. And it's customizable 100%. We are going through that process right now with the store in Nampa. They send us a picture, we turn it up, and you get whatever you want. You can change every part about the way it works. Another question. Oh, back of house layouts. Yes, OneClick does work in the back of house just as well as it does in the front. Right over here, we'll click the knives to switch to back of house mode, and we can see that they have their own back of house setups with fries and primary 1 and primary 2, machines and floaters. Obviously, this can be customized to your own back of house setup as well. If you have different needs or if you want it shaped differently, OneClick supports that. Let's look at some other ones. Hi, Jessica Fredericks. Did that answer your question? There's a question about our typical setup time. We can set you up with it works with hot schedules. So what it does is you do your hot schedules, you do the schedule in hot schedules like you do right now, and then OneClick gathers the posted schedule and uses that. And so it's not until it's posted in hot schedules that OneClick sees it. OneClick does not support creating the schedule right now. Later, I would love to do that, but not right now. And so with your hot schedules login and with a hot schedules login, we can get you set up in today. We'll set you up with these starter setups. We can customize them later, but we can get you set up with your employees and your data live today if you'd like. Send us your email and your name, and we'll ask for your hot schedules username and password, and you can have that today. It's really easy. So one question from Jen Bell, do the questions need to be entered in hot schedules for this to work? No. You can code the positions in hot schedules. You can see here that Joanna is scheduled for prep, and so it puts her in the prep position. The rest of them do not. And honestly, it's easier not to because hot schedules isn't good at creating the setups and integrating all this data. And so what you do in the best way to use the feature is to have them pull in, just generally coded, and then drag them and set them up inside OneClick. I saw another question earlier. What does this ×2 mean? That means that Sabrina is on here twice. You can see that Sabrina is here on the bagger and on the shift leader. And that just gives her an indicator so that she knows, hey, I'm in 2 different roles. The other question, is there a trial period? Yes, we'll give you a 30-day free trial. We'll set you up all your own data, all the premium features. Use OneClick with your team, pull it up on your iPads, give it to your employees, ask them for their feedback, see if they like it, update by itself, use the drag and drop, use all the features, and we'll give that to you for free for 30 days, and we do that. So one question, if we do the startup information and we don't for some reason use it, do we need to let you know? The trial will automatically stop at 30 days. If you don't talk with us more and set up the billing and everything, then it will just stop and that will be okay. What about access levels? Do directors and leads have different permissions from team members? Yes. That is one of the other great features about this, is it supports different permissions for everybody. So team leaders, shift leaders, regular employees, managers, directors, they're all different. And they can change too. So at my store, only shift leaders could create the setups, which means at home, the employees could log in and look, but they couldn't drag themselves around and put them wherever they wanted because that wouldn't be good. Recently though, because our team is growing, they've had the team leaders step up and they needed the team leaders to do that as well. So we changed the permission, and now the team leaders can also create setups and move them around and send people on break and manage it just like a shift leader would. The advanced training tools, obviously with all of the employees and all this information, that's a lot of private information, and so that's restricted. Only the leaders can see that. And then an employee could ask for impact, and you could do quarterly or whatever reviews and pull it up and show them, but they can't just look at it on their own. By default, you can change the settings any way you want.
Hey James, on your end, can you show them how you log in with the little cowboy hat and how that does change? So if you log in on the cowboy hat, you're going to be using your clock-in numbers. So the team members can do that as well. And then that will automatically go to whatever permission set that you are under. And then under your name, it shows, like, since I have director permissions, I'm able to also give permissions to other people. But nobody else can do that.
And I mean, we also use this kind of database on another scale of for all of our verbal warnings. Instead of having a written actual paper or anything, we just, any talks that we have with the team member about discipline or even good things, we can document it on their file on OneClick, and no one can see it other than the individual and those that have correct access.
Yes. There was another question we should answer real quick. After the free trial, how much do we charge? Let me just show my slide. Our pricing model is simple and it's reasonable and it's designed for Chick-fil-A. We charge a $200 setup fee after the free trial. And then after that, it's $150 a month to use the scheduling module, just the drag and drop interface and all of the breaks and updating and all of that information. That's all included in this team management module. And then we have another module, the training module, that includes the training dashboard and rating systems. And there's algorithms that help with it as well. And that's we charge $250 a month for that. That works out to be about $1 an employee per month. It's really reasonable and it's awesome.
James, I think a lot of people are asking, like, well, how do you put in this information? Like, if they already have like a cash cart set up like on hot schedules, do they have to put in that information again on OneClick in order for it to transfer like the training?
So I'm not sure I entirely understand the question correctly. If in hot schedules, if they're coded with the cash cart job codes, it will plug them automatically into the cash cart position. To the best of my knowledge, hot schedules doesn't know what the employees know. It's just the managers are clicking the buttons and assigning them to different positions. And so I don't think that hot schedules has that information for you. What you do though, I'll walk you through the process, is you can easily go to, we'll do a sample rating on Alora. And so you can choose cash cart and you can click the stars and pick the things. These stars are actually valuable because it's giving you benchmarks, and so it leads to more consistent numbers so that your team members and your trainers are consistent. And then you can write a short note about how Alora is awesome and she serves the guests with a big smile all the time.
I'm not seeing that screen if you are sharing it. I still see the pricing screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgot to switch.
Also, I think it would be easy for you to add a catering setup as well, right, James?
Yes, catering setup, easy. So what you can do is you can go over here and choose a LoRa. You can click to rate her on cash card or headset or any other position, or if you want to create any other position that's totally configurable, and you plug in these stars and then you type the rating, and it gives you a little preview of what it will look like, and then you click submit, and it's done. That's it. It already hit the database, it's stored, it's all protected and everything, and that's how it works. Here we can see as well the permissions. So we can see that Alora has the team member permissions, but if I wanted to go through and make her a trainer or a team leader, all you have to do is click the button, and now she's a team leader, and she has permissions to do team leaders, but she's not, so I'm going to take that back off. So one question, yes?
Somebody asked if the lineups can be done in advance, and yes, they can. So the whole week, once I post the schedule on Hot Schedules, the entire week will show up on OneClick. And I think you had even a couple days of the previous week before, but I'm not sure if you have that.
Yes, so here we can see that today is Monday, and it shows us that, but we can go look at our Saturday shift. So here's Saturday at 2 o'clock when we're slowing down, or at 11 o'clock when we're busy. This is who we have. We're gonna have these 32 people. This is who they are. And if I wanted to, I could go through and create the setup and plan how's this gonna be. And then if for whatever reason, I do my setup now, and then by Saturday, some of the people have traded some shifts, those people that no longer working but will show up in a deep red color, so you know they're gone, and it's really easy to swap them out and then maybe readjust again based on your new employees because some shifts changed. Another question, how often does the system sync with Hot Schedules? It syncs, right now it syncs twice a day. It syncs at 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock right before both of the main shifts rushes, because that's how Chick-fil-A works. I know how Chick-fil-A works. If you have other specific needs, we can customize that and do whatever you want for you. Walt asked about the kitchen. It does support kitchen. I can show that to you. Does the training system take an average of all the trainers' ratings? What it does is it uses the most recent value. And so when you do the stars, it takes the average of all those stars and gives it one value. And then the next time that somebody comes along, maybe in a week or maybe in a couple months, because I mean, not all the trainers have time to do this every day. Most people don't. Then it will replace that with the most recent value. Will there be more demos? Yes, we plan on doing more demos. Are the breaks generated according to state labor laws? They're generated however you want them to be. So if you want them to be according to the state labor laws, yes. Are the roles and setups customized? Yes. You can change if you want to teach IPOS first, or if you also have maybe a stuffer position, or if you have other kinds of positions that I can't even think about, it supports that. We can customize it to you. We have paid 10-minute breaks and unpaid 30s for breaks. Is that configurable in the system? Yes. Yes. I'm pretty sure. Team member scheduling. Okay. Is it possible to add a timer to any role to keep track of that? Good feature request. It doesn't do that right now. We talked about the back of house layouts. Sets up fast. Trial period, main Hot Schedules account. It doesn't, you can use any Hot Schedules account in the store. I would recommend the general manager's account, but we just need a Hot Schedules login for it to work. What does support look like from our end? We are willing to provide customized support. We want this to be exactly what we want for your needs. So Tyler at the store in Nampa just the other day, he's like, hey, I know it's a small thing, but can you make in the kitchen? Let me show you. In the kitchen, can you make this machine's box bigger and the floater box smaller? Huh? And the same with the breading. And the answer is yes, and I did that for him, and it's already live.
He's just asking if it would be two different scheduling, yeah. As long as they're on,
Do team members have access to this before they show up? Yes. Team members have access. They can see all the data for all the week. Maybe the shift leaders haven't created the setups, and so they don't know where they'll be yet, but that's on the shift leader. The team members can see it and not edit it, and that's the permissions do that. Breaks are, it's a click to do the breaks. I don't have access to the time punch systems to do that automatically. So what you'll do is you'll have the iPad on the wall where everybody's looking at it, or maybe the shift leader pulls it up on their phone and they can click them to send them on breaks. It supports catering. It can do days in advance. Yes, $250 a month for our training thing that does include support. We'll do everything we can to make sure that you have a product that you love. That's when I think Jessica can speak to that if I think she's still here. But that's
Yes.
Jessica, can you comment about my support for our store in Ammon over these 2 years?
Yeah, actually, honestly, I'd be like, can you change the colors? Can you change the names? Can you change, and he, as he was creating this together with us, that obviously those little details were more customizable, but his support has been excellent. I can call him at any time and say, okay, hey, this isn't coming up. And I think he's worked out the majority of the kinks to where none of those problems should happen at all anymore. But since we were the test, he was able to go through us to work through some of those things that for you guys, it will be a wonderful product. And I am always happy to be available to talk to anyone about my experience or walk through what we do at our store and help in that way as well.
Yes. Some questions about app. It's a website. You can visit it at oneclick.team. And the people log in. It's linked to Hot Schedules, so the employees will need to use the email that they have stored in their Hot Schedules account, which comes from Chick-fil-A team. And so they can use that email, and then it logs in, and they have all their permissions based on the way you set it up, and it works really well. If for whatever reason that's wrong in Hot Schedules, there are also tools to manually go around that and help them get in anyway. It is compatible with mobile browsers on iPhone and Android. It works really well. You can pull it up and look at all of it. That has been one of the awesome features because you're driving to work in your car and you can look at it. What about multi-unit operators? Right now, it manages one store at a time. We have plans to expand and make it easy. Like I know that some employees work at multiple stores or multiple unit operators to transfer those records and share them. And so like if an employee transfers from one Chick-fil-A to another, we would like to make that transition really easy. It doesn't support that now, but we plan on it. Your Hot Schedules account is tied to 2 different stores. It will work. Right now we have 2 stores using Chick-fil-A, using OneClick. My store in Ammon and another store in Nampa, Idaho. We currently have we have a small team right now. There's me and my dad and my business partner, and we have a couple other employees to help with customer support and IT, and so we'll do that. We are committed to providing you our best service possible, and we'll do everything we can. And so if that means hiring more people or getting more support, we'll do that because we want you to have a good experience. Is there a contract involved? No. We do a monthly pricing. If you want to do an annual pricing for a discount, we'll do that for you, but no contracts. Is there a function to signal who is capable of deliveries for operator lead delivery, so leaders know who they can take out of positions when it's hard? Yes, you can set up your own customized position and then tell it which people are good at that position and which people aren't, and then OneClick knows. And so there's that. I think as I've been scrolling through the chat, I think I've got the questions. Are there any other questions? We will be posting the recording of this webinar on our website at oneclick.foryour.team. We have a website and a Facebook page. You've seen in my chat, Destiny is one of our employees, and she's worked with me at our store on Ammon for 2 years. She's a pro with OneClick.
James, really quick, someone kind of addressed it just so that we can get a little bit more specific towards that. Yeah, so you have 2 stores right now. Let's just say 20 other stores decide to come on and test this out. How, like, with your smaller team, is that going to be too much for you? Because it is a difficult change to jump from that 2 to 20. And will you still be able to kind of maintain and keep that good customer service that you provide for us as well as to every other store, and make sure that it's all customizable and make it worth their while?
So that's our goal. That's what we hope to do. That's what we're striving for. We have our track record behind us. Our future is just going forward. The one thing I can say for certain is that the technology is reliable. The computer code, all the systems, it's built on Google's Firebase and Google servers, so Google doesn't go down. And so the app works. It's going to stay there. As far as changes and feature updates and customizing, we will do everything that we can to stay up and give you exactly what you want and provide quick and reliable and customized service. But as far as doing what it's already doing, that's not gonna go away because the app is reliable.
Really quick, somebody asked what are the benefits for having a training director and training coordinator. I guess maybe Jess and Kent, could you answer that? Like, why do you guys have a training director and a coordinator?
I just took a bite of food, so I apologize. So we have 150 employees, well, about 130 employees. The majority of those are front of house employees, as I'm sure you guys all know. We have found that through OneClick and keeping like a very detailed track of our training progress, and with our managers and coordinators, we have a way better handle on where we are as a team. Right now, we're a little bit off the rails because of Corona and all the different things that we've had to deal with. But yeah, everybody else too. We can see that in OneClick. We're able to track that and see like, wow, we really have struggled with training over the last 3 months. This is where we left off. And the training managers can use OneClick as an aid to support them in their role and seeing where this specific person has been fallen on the wayside. We've forgotten about them, or this person's doing really well. Maybe they're ready for leadership, or this person has had conversations multiple times about how they're struggling in this one position. So through OneClick, our training can go from, you know, what Chick-fil-A wants us to be to actually doing what Chick-fil-A wants us to do, what's best for the guest. So does that answer the question as far as the benefits of that?
I think another benefit, so one thing is that I also worked at a Chick-fil-A in Utah last year for a little bit, and this was in a college town, and so almost every trimester at the college, they would get new leaders and everything. The shift leaders would change because of the trimester and everything. And that's really hard because that means their leaders don't know the employees. How good is this employee? And what that can result in sometimes is that some employees, like, they just kind of get pigeonholed in the same position and they always do the same one, or they don't realize that this training has happened and they actually have learned this other position, or just chaos. Maybe they just don't know anything, and so they just kind of randomly assign employees in different places. And that doesn't happen with OneClick. That just doesn't happen because the data is there, it's provided. it's there. And so when the leaders leave, or if you're a training manager, or if everybody leaves and comes back, the data is still there and the system is still there, and it helps. As far as the advantages of having a training program, I would say that if our goal is really to provide second mile service and help the guests in the best way we can, then the employees need to be the best. They need to be really good at their position. And with OneClick, you're able to track it. Okay, we taught them, now they're able to do IPOS. They know how they know the menu, they know the systems, but that's it. And they're not next level, they're not there yet. And so we'll keep working with them. And OneClick gives you the tools to keep track of that and help them and coach them up through, hey, I taught them a little bit more. And so now they're at a place where the employees are really good. And what that results to, I'm just gonna brag on my store a little bit. With coronavirus and everything, we have grown in our drive-through exponentially. Before coronavirus, we were doing 140 cars in the drive-through. But now, because of the times, we've adjusted and we've opened up more lanes of drive-through, and we've been slammed, and we've been doing 230 cars in the drive-through in an hour, between 1 and 2. And to be able to do that, you have to have team members that are really good where they are. You just can't have people struggling. You just can't have people making silly mistakes. You just can't have that. And so OneClick, for one thing, lets you, helps your managers know, okay, for James, for instance, he's really good at cash cart. We're gonna put him on cash cart because he will be able to handle that really well. And then Destiny, she's really good on a headset. We're gonna put her on a headset because she will be able to carry us through that. And it lets you do that for the whole team. And then also, when it's 2 o'clock and it's slow and you have some time, it gives you the tools to say, oh, okay, now we're not so busy, but I know that Cody was learning cash card a couple days ago, so, or maybe front counter, he's just barely learning front counter, so let's give him the opportunity to practice. And he can get a little bit better right now because we have that opportunity. One thing I've noticed is that if you didn't know that, you just wouldn't never ask that question. OneClick really forces you to ask more questions that you never would have asked otherwise. And those questions help your store run better.
Also on that, like, and it also answers another question, is the view prompt tab or section. It allows for a training manager to go in and see if their trainers or the team leaders or whoever you have training your team members are giving them ratings. It allows you to, and if you want to show that, it just kind of gives you, well, Adrian's been on this area and has been qualified for this for so long but hasn't received a rating of recent, so that you are constantly maintaining, okay, well, maybe over that last 5 months, he has improved significantly in rating or on primary. And so it allows you to constantly be updating that and not forget about those individuals that maybe don't work as much or maybe have been put in the same position, but we know they're stellar, but a new shift leader that shifts from day shift to night shift doesn't know that. And so those prompts are there so that your trainers and your training manager are able to constantly update OneClick with the right information about the employees, and so that the training aspect is never forgotten and never falling behind, because there's constantly automatic prompts that allow you to remember and just constantly be updating that. So that's a really neat feature on the training end.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ken. The other thing I'd like to say is that my store grew into this software. We start with just the organizing, and then over time we've added a lot of advanced and cool and fancy features that are really helpful. But I know that a lot of these other Chick-fil-A's aren't ready for all of these. I don't know if not all the Chick-fil-A's probably have trainers or training managers, or either of those. And OneClick works for that as well. If all you can do right now is just look at who's scheduled and maybe drag them onto the shifts, like, that's okay. We have a basic plan for that, and it will help you. And then as you grow, it'll put you under your feet, and you'll get going, and it will help you organize, and you can grow slowly into the rest of the features. It doesn't force you to do that. Also, I understand that software and people sometimes don't mix. You have old people and new people and people that don't understand it, and it's tricky. And so I understand that it's going to be a phase-in. It's not going to be a boom, this is going to solve all your problems. But OneClick is here in the long run. It's here to be reliable, it's here to be your backbone, it's here to be loyal, and it's here to grow into over time. And so we'll give you a 30-day free trial, or if you want 60, we'll give you 60-day free trial. But like, get used to it. See, have your team see that they love it, and then you keep using it, and you'll find that it's really easy, and you'll find that it has the features that you need. I saw some questions about this open list button. This is a new feature, we just barely added it. It allows you to create lists. We're cleaning checklists. And so you can create a cleaning checklist, and it's still in development. This is a development build. But that way you can have your lists, and then one of the leaders can come and check you off and give you a rating in each of those positions, and it will store that in the employee. And that means you can go back and say, hey, Richard, I noticed all last week you did an excellent job when you were doing your closing checklist, and I think that's super awesome, good job. Or you can say, hey, Dustin, I've been noticing this trend. It looks like over the past month, you haven't been doing a very good job while you're cleaning. I think this needs addressed. What can we do to help you? And so that's what that feature is for. The other thing that's valuable up here, this notes field. Right now, you probably have paper and you might write some things down, or maybe you just talk about it. But this is a really easy place to say, hey, maybe there's a last minute shift swap, or maybe Dustin has some special needs. So you can say, hey, Dustin, have Dustin train Cambria. During the mid shift. And so you can type that out. And I just typed that, and already all the employees, if they have their phones out, they can see that. So on the iPad, in the back office, on everybody's phones, they can already see that message, and the communication is super clear. Let's look, what other questions do we have? Yes. Does it auto-populate new hires and delete those that are terminated in HR and payroll? Yes, that's one of the other awesome features that it has. When somebody new is hired, it knows about it. When somebody new is fired, it knows about it. If they're rehired again, if they leave and come back, it will restore all those old training notes. Maybe it was a year or 2 years ago, it will restore all those old training notes. And so even though most of your team has turned over, OneClick knows, and so you'll have all that old data. And that's awesome. OneClick does, I know a lot of our Chick-fil-A uses GroupMe for group chats and everything, and OneClick works with GroupMe. You can set it up to have it add everybody to a team, and then when they're fired, remove them as well. That is all built in, and it's built for this. It's built for Chick-fil-A. I think that's our demo. I think we've gone through all the questions. If there's any more, feel free to send it to us. You can reach us at contact@oneclick.team for email. We have our website at oneclick.foryour.team. And if you send us an email, we'll set you up with a free demo. We'll let you try it out, share it with all your employees. We'll be open for customizing requests, and whatever kind of requests you have, we're open to that. And this is OneClick, and this is built out of love. If there's anything I can say that has been built with a lot of love for OneClick by a really passionate and dedicated employee and just friend, and I love the guests, and I strongly believe in this. I know that this has helped my team a lot, and I really know that will help your teams as well, and so that's why we're doing this. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. It looks like our time is almost up. Feel free to reach out to us, ask us for demos, send us all your questions, and thank you so much.